let's look at this. We have a trifecta of SEC stories to cover here that are
Yeah.
fantastic because these guys are just absolutely, continuing to be the guy out in the yard that's walking around and he steps on his own rake and the rake comes up, hits him in the face, or, whatever analogy, slipping on a banana peel, whatever it is. We got so many good things here. So it started a few days ago. I'm going to first talk about this, the two SEC lawyers resigning. So this one is from about April 20, Monday, at this point, that I saw it anyway. So from Bloomberg. Okay, so we don't really have to catch anybody up to speed here. The SEC has been, losing every crypto battle left and right, basically. Obviously, people within the Pulse Chain ecosystem are familiar with the SEC and their tactics. People within Ripple and the XRP token, who actually have defeated the SEC and then also defeated their appeal. The SEC is just losing to crypto left and right, losing credibility at every turn, essentially. So from Bloomberg the other day, 2 Securities and Exchange Commission lawyers resigned after a federal judge sanctioned and sharply rebuked the Wall Street regulator for gross abuse of power in a crypto case. Now, we knew about that sanction already. That was kind of old news, and that was in the debt box case.
Yeah.
But Michael Welsh, and Joseph Watkins stepped down this month. Now, these are lawyers for the SEC. Okay,
Right.
Not like people on the commission. So that this is interesting. I don't know the people on the commission just step down out of nowhere like that. I'm sure they're getting paid for doing nothing. But yeah, they stepped down this month after the SEC official told them that they would be terminated if they stayed. Okay, I don't think I read that part. According to people familiar with the matter, the pair were lead attorneys on a case against Digital Licensing Inc., a crypto platform known as Debtbox. The regulator's lawsuit against Debtbox was marred by false statements and misrepresentations, as well as a lack of evidence, according to Robert Shelby, the federal district court judge in Salt Lake City who was hearing the case. Shelby took the extreme step, and this is crazy and awesome of him, of sanctioning the agency for abuse of power in March. And the SEC's head of enforcement has apologized for the mishaps. This is incredible. So, this is, so it sounds like the lawyers were already being threatened by the SEC that they were going to be fired. But this is just a continued mess. I don't know who is to blame the most here. The SEC is obviously throwing the lawyers under the bus. But look, this agency has done this left and right. And how many times have they been ruled? What's that term that they always throw around? Arbitrary and capricious or whatever.
Right.
So, yeah, what do you make of this? It's just another fantastic story about the corruption within this garbage agency.
Well, and I don't know if you caught this part of it as well here, but it also says in the conclusion, the commission is ordered to pay defendants and receivers attorney fees and legal costs arising from the TRO and the receiver. Defendants and receiver are ordered to file within 30 days petitions for fees, clearly setting forth their requests in accordance with the court's guidance. So, yeah, not only were they fired, but now it looks like the SEC is ordered to pay the defendants and receivers, attorneys, fees, and legal costs as far as this goes as well, because of their gross abuse of power. But yes, they were given the option to resign or they could get fired. So I think they took the one that looks a little bit better on your resume.
Dignity.
Right.
Well, better dignity too, and to just show that, they should show, screw the SEC. We did a job for these people. And I don't think it's just the lawyer's fault that the judge called it a gross abuse of power.
Sure.
That has been the SEC trends, regardless of what lawyers are representing them, right?
Yeah. Attorneys from the commission, general counsel office likely committed another breach of their duty and candor to the court, which was mentioned here. It's just bad. They just kind of really screwed it up because they think that they don't have to live up to the law, and unfortunately this time it came back to bite them, and I'm really glad it did, and I hope this kind of sets some precedent as to say, all right, guys, you better play by the rules here because we're getting tired of this stuff. And obviously turning it back around onto the case that we have to, deal with is, I hope it definitely has a little bit of precedent set and the judges can further kind of govern the rules a little bit better, you know?
Mhm.
So,
Well, yeah, and that's it. We've talked about this for months. The judges are all getting very familiar with this act from the SEC. I mean, there's
yeah,
not really, there's not really a way that judges can just lock themselves in in solitary confinement and like not watch the news or know what's happening with a case like this,
right.
especially like it's going to be out there. There's no way to avoid that,
Sure.
so you will know that going in, and likely the judges are going to know far more about the SEC and the things that they've been doing than especially somebody like Richard Hart or what
Yeah.
Pulse Chain is or anything. But even like Coinbase, I imagine they are even more familiar with what the SEC's been doing than even something like Coinbase. So they continue to just ruin their reputation if they even have
Reputation.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.